It truly is an honor to be sharing the stage with such esteemed speakers. I'm not esteemed, and I'm not a speaker, so there you have it. But I think I do share a passion with most of you, and I do share a happy place, and that is the ocean. And for me, it took 22 years to discover that happy place, to discover open water swimming. But the signs and the clues were always there. As a child, some of my earliest memories are of me on the beach. And you can start the slide if you want. I did bring some stuff. Me on the beach, just that sensation of, the first time I feel the sand on my feet getting out of the car in Strand, where we grew up. I grew up in Stellenbosch, so Strand was my local. Playing in the waves. I used to go out 200 meters. My mother hated me for it, and I just dived and played through the waves. There was no fear, there was just exhilaration. And a distinct memory is of, I was about 7 or 8 years old. Distinctly remember that moment when I, for the first time, saw those mountains on the other side. And this was a new world. And I said to my mother, "Mom, look, there's another country. What is it? Where is it? Can we go there? Can we swim there?" And she said, "Are you mad?" I said, "Mal." And I thought, but why not? We can see it. And to me, I guess it was just that journey between now and the unknown, and this new place. And I didn't accept the no that my mother gave me, but I also didn't get right in there. Like I said, it took about 22 years for me to discover my mojo. As a child, I was more of a music kid, and I was doing the music concerts in school, and you certainly couldn't combine the two. So when I went to study music at university, I realized I needed to do something a bit more balanced, and I dived into the water. It's the only thing I could ever, do that was slightly physical. And I got completely addicted. I mean, that's pretty much who I am. I'm an addict today to water, to the ocean. And from struggling through that first length of the 25-meter pool, about 3 years later, I found myself in Simonstown Harbour with a few other crazies in speedos and swimming to Muizenberg, 12 kilometers. I didn't know what I was doing there, but 3 hours later, my life was changed. And this was a pivotal moment in my life, and I think we've all got those moments. And it was just a turnaround because I felt the power of the ocean. I felt the power of nature, and I felt at home. And to be honest, I wanted to turn back and just to stay in there. I felt like I was an extension of nature, and this was just right. Luckily, there were other swims, and from there I went on to do many. I went across the world and experienced lots of oceans, lots of different waters. And of course, the big one was my childhood dream, which kind of resurfaced. And 2005, I went in 36 kilometers. I was going to do this thing, tried False Bay, failed miserably. And that was one of the biggest lessons that the oceans taught me, and that's to be patient, because I got in, it wasn't right. The water was too cold, got hypothermia after 5 hours. But the next year I went, and stroke for stroke, 11 hours later, I did it. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't get that at the end. There was no one waiting for me. Anyway, the other day I was flying and I saw this view. And, when you're in it, you're kind of doing it and you're obsessed. And I had the prize in sight, which was kind of nothing, but still it was this obsession about getting there. But I realized the other day, this is it. I mean, we've got earth, we've got ocean, we've got air, we've got fire, but we don't worry about that. It's the 4 elements. And then there's the 5th element, which is the ether. But what we're really doing is we sort of searching for something divine, and that's what I found in False Bay. And it's not about getting from the one side to the other side. It's just being in there and taking it stroke for stroke and experiencing the honor of actually, with my naked body, with a swimsuit, of course, getting there and just spending that 11 hours. Not many people can say that, and I realized that. The ocean has her moments. that image is actually one that I used to dream of as a child, and it wasn't an image that filled me with fear. It was an image that filled me with excitement, and it was a dream that actually recurred, and I never understood why, and I still don't, but I guess it's, we all have our path, and we all have our little thing written somewhere. I mean, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're searching for our place in the world, and that's kind of mine. And rough water, calm water, I don't care. It's the place that's a place where I can breathe, really. The ocean has taught me a lot. The rough water, it's pretty much like the proverbial rough water in life. The moment you accept it and the moment you take its rhythm, it teaches you something, and it's okay, and it becomes calm, and the reward at the end, again, no clapping, is so much bigger. That's me after swimming recently, actually, the Bonifacio Straits. I started in absolutely calm water. It was just pristine, and an hour into the swim, I got this waves breaking over me, and I thought, wow, are we at the beach already? Cool. But it was in fact just a storm coming up, and for 4 hours I didn't know whether I was going backwards or forwards, but I got there 15 kilometers later. A lot has been said about the loneliness of the open water swimmer. It's a loneliness that I embrace, and I'm sure many of you can resonate with that, because I'm sure for many of you the ocean is your happy place, and it's pretty much just getting away from it all, isn't it? When I look at that image, I don't feel the vastness of the ocean. I don't feel the depth of it. The mystery, yes. I just feel my little cocoon, and it's my place. It's a bit chilly, but it's lekker. So why would you leave this place ever? Well, I did. Stuff happens. I had my children. I felt I couldn't compete at the level I used to compete at, and I stopped for about 5-6 years, and it took something very special to bring me back. I mean, I just felt I didn't have anything more to give. I kind of broke the records I wanted. I did the swims I wanted. Why get back in? I've always kept up my fitness, but And I came across, through my career as a musician, across an amazing organization called the Little Fighters Cancer Trust. And they look after children with cancer and their families. And I'm sure if you're a parent or you've ever seen a child, the thought of a child with cancer is simply unthinkable. And that's how I felt. And I was obsessive about doing something for them. And I knew I had to go back to, hello. Hier het jy. I had to go back to the ocean, and this guy made it difficult for me because suddenly I was a mother. I was responsible. How can I go back into False Bay? How can I go to Cape Point, It's a part of the white shark capital of the world. It's simply irresponsible. And look at that wave at Dyer's Beach, and look at that little spot. That's me. After being nearly crushed, I thought I would die before I even started the swim. But it brought me back, and after 6 years of not doing open water swimming, I went back with a reason, and I went back with a purpose. And the ocean taught me that you can combine your passion and make a meaningful difference in this world. And I think, we all look at the ocean, we all go to the ocean, we all look at the skies, we're all looking for the ether to kind of get away from some stuff. The world is not always a good place. It's beautiful, it's what we've got, but it's sometimes challenging, and that's why we go there. And for me, Swim for Hope, which has become the brand through which I swim for the Little Fighters Cancer Trust, has become something that's been incredibly meaningful, and it proves that you can be a bit selfish but also give. And that's where I'm at. This is a couple of months ago. I was invited to participate in the biggest swim race in Italy, around the island. I did a 3-way crossing of the 6-kilometer route, so I did 18 kilometers. They all think I'm amazingly famous. It's Carina, Carina, Carina. But the most important thing is they know Little Fighters Cancer Trust. We managed to raise over, I think, about 20,000 rands for the trust. I'm doing what I love, and I'm making a small difference. So for me, if you take any message from tonight about your happy place, there's a way to share it in your own happy way. And if you can do that, it's pretty cool. Thank you.